go. Hello and welcome to the Holy Hour Podcast. It's the bi-weekly All Cure Podcast, and I'm Gavin, and tonight I am joined by Antonio and the Sarlacc Digest's own Scott. Welcome back, man.
Hello. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Absolutely.
I guess we can keep saying that for a few more weeks, maybe, before it gets annoying. But welcome. And,
I should get used to writing 2025 sometime around mid-November.
Yeah, I think we'll get there
Yeah,
eventually.
absolutely.
At this point, who cares, right? So, we made it like, 2 weeks without a disaster or something? So how you doing out there in California? You hanging in there?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I tell you what, man, it's where I'm at right now, we're not affected because I'm on the other side of the mountains from it all, and the wind has been blowing towards the west. We're northeast of where everything is going on.
Yeah.
So we're not even right now, knock on wood, we're not even affected by the smoke right now.
Okay, cool.
But
because
they're talking about 60-mile-an-hour winds again tomorrow. So I'm like,
man.
it just to watch the footage and to know I've driven through these places and to see the devastation. It's otherworldly, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks like a bomb went off, and it's just depressing.
Yeah.
Really.
Sorry, man. Yeah.
I just got wind that the first friend of mine over there lost their house, but everyone else is pretty. But you know what? Everyone's alive, so it's that's what matters.
Yeah.
But I've been in constant contact with all my LA homies, and it's been crazy.
Yeah.
I got a few that have been evacuated and let back in, and then evacuated again. I don't know where they stand. And I've got another guy who's I'm pretty close with, who's got he's got his dog and his to-go bag ready.
Yeah.
He's just give me the word and I'm out. So
Right
it's just.
Well, definitely thinking of everyone out there, and glad you're safe for now. I have a little app. That's what I was looking at, where you were, and there was a little pink area, which I think is smoke, but I was like, it's getting close, but it looked like you're in the safe zone too, so that was good.
Yeah.
And just devastating to see that. Of course, we're been mentioned on the show before, Antonio and I in particular, big fans of your state out there. So it really is heartbreaking to see all this. And hopefully we can wrangle this shit in. But unfortunately, it seems like every time we want to do the wheel, some kind of disaster happens. I'm starting to wonder if this idea that I stole from your podcast is maybe not such a good idea. The whole world's going to crumble.
Just stop, man. Just stop.
So we're gonna spin a cure wheel here. This was an idea that Scott did on his show, the Sarlacc Digest, where you have various Star Wars themes. Ours will be cure related, of course, so panic not, listeners. Or
will they? Will a Star Wars topic sneak in?
Maybe. Never know. But it was such a cool and fun idea. So thanks for letting us borrow that. And it was kind of, I always mention this notebook I have of ideas for episodes, and a lot of them are well, this would be fun to talk about, but I don't know even if we could stretch it into an hour or half hour even. So it's kind of cool just to have these little sort of ideas, and maybe we'll get the ball rolling, and it will turn into a whole episode if anyone is a huge fan of any of these topics. So we set up a cool little digital wheel. I'm going to spin that thing, and we'll just kind of hash it out. Maybe we'll get through all of them. Maybe we'll get through 2 of them, because we're all pretty, get excited, and we'll be going for a while. So.
we do the wheel in between Star Wars shows, because sometimes the talk is just really dry, right? I mean, you can only, honestly, we could talk for hours about anything Star Wars related, but if there's nothing topical, we found that it's kind of cool to especially throw it out there to our listeners and our live stream viewers. Give us an idea. What would you like to see on the wheel? And then just hit the wheel of random. And seriously, we could go for 20, 30 minutes on a single topic.
Sweet.
So it's fun. Keeps us on our toes.
It's like improv.
Yeah.
Yes, and
more or less. And I figured while we're at the wheel idea, I wanted to kick this episode off with a quick idea of setting up a separate wheel for the Patreon members. And I thought, what the hell? I got this merch shop And it'd be fun just to buy something for one of the Patreon people and send it to them. So I got a big old Patreon wheel. If you want to get in on this wheel for further use, go ahead and sign up for Patreon. But for right now, let's give away something. What do you say? I'm gonna hopefully hit this, and this one I probably should share with you guys in particular, so you know that it's legit. So so you can see the wheel here. So good chance that I could cancel the whole podcast right here by accident by not sharing this properly. Do you see it? A wheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is it? Is it a wheel of
all the names of all the Patreon members? Scott's on this.
If I come up, I will bypass. I will say, let's move on to the next person. Let's get somebody else.
I think we can vouch that it's not rigged, But yeah, let's see what happens. So let's see. And I threw in the international ones too. So let's see what happens. Oh, we got Nicholas. Yay, Nicholas. And
congrats, Nicholas.
So congratulations, Nicholas. It might be a mug. It might be a t-shirt. We don't know, but since we got that little merch,
it might be Chaz.
It might be Chaz.
Maybe you're gonna just send. Maybe you're just gonna ship Chaz.
It'll be us. We're here to hang out for the week, and
So. But by the way, we didn't get a hotel.
So we gotta stay there. And, we don't have any food, but
or booze
all week. Yeah. But yep. So congrats, Nicholas. We are. I'll be in touch, and you're the big winner of the first wheel giveaway Patreon member. So sign on up for that Patreon, and you'll get in on the next
Give it away
one.
now.
No.
No.
This is
California.
an RHCP free zone.
California.
So anyway, cool. Yeah, that worked out pretty good. And
That was fun.
on top of that, not too much news. Do you think we should read the topics first? All 17 of them? Let's do that. Get everybody pumped so they can root for one to like, come on, like Wheel of Fortune, big money kind of thing. So there, by chance, it just happens to be 17 topics on the wheel, 17 topics. And so to read them off, we have the first one is fix one thing on wild mood swings. So just one thing. Just fix one thing on wild mood swings.
Okay.
Next one's to rank all 14 studio albums. That's something we've
I knew I had homework.
Personally kind of have gone on our way to not specifically do, because everybody did that like the day that Songs of a Lost World came out. I'm like, give it some time.
Well, I still need more time with it before I
wouldn't fully commit, but I never really want to commit to my list. It changes daily, but that'll be fun if we have to. Would you rather have a Robert Smith solo album or The Glove 2? So a slight variation on the idea.
Okay.
Next one would be your most prized Cure possession. Could be anything just personal related to Cure or an actual artifact or what. Favorite Cure lyric. Where do you start? But, we all have certain ones that hit home.
It's like, what day is it?
Yeah. Further proof that we won't get through all these tonight. So, Dream Robert Smith collaboration artist. So, who would you like Robert to collaborate with? We've had some good collaborations, some not so great collaborations. Who would be your ideal collaboration artist? Dream Cure show location. Where would you like to see the Cure? Most of anywhere in the world. Doesn't even have to be too realistic. Least favorite Cure
Tatooine.
Song. Yeah. Let's keep it in this galaxy. But Dream. Let's say least favorite Cure song. So we can bring back some of that fun negative energy that everyone loves, least favorite Cure song.
Get your clicks.
Yeah, I said least favorite Cure song, so they're all favorites. Trying to be diplomatic. Here's another one. Bring back one ex-Cure member, as they love to do, with a little asterisk saying all replacements are on good terms and everybody is on board and happy. And so it's we don't have to totally shit can one of our favorites.
Yeah, I like your disclaimer there.
Yeah. What movie should have The Cure been in? So this was a topic we tossed around from Antonio a while ago. Of like, if I'm interpreting the topic right, it would be like a past movie that's come out, but oh man, that should have had The Cure in it. Which personally,
like,
I think every movie.
As in music or like
I think
the
music.
band themselves. Okay,
I think music.
Like music, like a movie that like could have benefited from having a specific Cure song in it.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Like because this scene fits that feel of this movie.
Yeah.
Cool. Right.
And this is the one I did with Henson. We got the cool Robert Smith Star Wars casting. What role would you give him? So can't have Scott on the show and not rig that question to show up at some point.
Jedi Master, of course.
Yeah, totally. So what role would you give him? What is the coolest Cure shirt ever? So whether you own it or not, what is the coolest Cure shirt? Ask Robert Smith one question. You have one question to ask the man himself.
Man.
What's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
What song?
Is the world flat?
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my time on the show.
Yes. Really? I just panicked, man. I couldn't think
Are you a flat earther?
That's all I could think of.
Oh my God.
What is let's see, where did I leave off? What song should The Cure cover? So we've heard them cover some tunes in the past. Which one would you want them to cover? Okay. You can add one song to their, we'll just say, next tour set list permanently, meaning every show of the tour they're playing it. So it's not like 1,000 hours where some poor bastard doesn't get to see it by the end of the tour when they played it earlier in the tour. so yeah, guaranteed.
Not bitter.
Yeah, not bitter at all. What Cure song could inspire a movie? Another Antonio variation on the last one. I like this one. So, and the genres being horror, rom-com, and sci-fi. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I interpret that as take a song title and would inspire. So maybe even a quick movie synopsis of an original script we could present for each of those. Yeah, that would be great. And the final question on the wheel is, will there be another version of Songs of a Lost World released in 2025? Yet another version. So again, from Antonio, thank you for those additions.
I was like, we need a fun, quick, easy one,
and realistic.
Yeah.
That's the most realistic out of them all.
Totally.
Yeah. I think the over-under on versions is 12 and a half.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many I've bought. I mean,
yeah, did you?
I think I've got 5 vinyls now. I've got, oh my God. And then the cassette. I don't even have a fucking cassette player.
I don't have the Troxy cassette, and it's kind of driving me crazy now because I've actually built up the old cassettes pretty good, or I'm like, fuck, I need it. I'm going to need it eventually. It's going to totally drive me nuts.
My CD hasn't even arrived yet.
Oh,
my
really?
Troxy CD hasn't arrived yet. I'm still waiting on that.
I got the CD, but then I found out Casey ordered the vinyl for me too. I haven't got the vinyl yet. So, damn. Huh. Yeah, we better get on them. What's going on?
Come on, man. There was somebody's head was exploding today online because, of course, it's online. That, oh my God, my half speed double LP hasn't shipped yet. I'm like, ooh. Well, yeah, that kind of sucks because I mean those things are long gone, and part of me is like, come on,
probably got scammed by someone.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway,
it's not good. All right, let's do the first spin. What do you say? You ready to dive in?
Spin it up.
All right,
come on,
try this.
Come on, Vanna White.
Big money, big money. What song should The Cure cover?
Ooh.
Yeah, and I guess we'll take a modern day lineup, just appearing on some magical tribute album. It's coming out soon. What should they cover of all the songs in the world? I normally would say guest first, but you want a second to think it over, Scott, or you want to go first?
No, let's have Antonio.
All right.
Let's have Antonio shoot first.
Ooh. Oh. Han shot first. So I have the band already because I've always kind of had this in my mind, but it's the song that I'm kind of torn on. But I'm gonna go with "In Circles" by Sunny Day Real Estate.
Wow. All right. Yeah.
Okay. I am unfamiliar with that. I am going to have to look it up real quick.
Real Estate is a Seattle band, known for being one of the, I hate using the term emo, but like godfathers of that like original like real emo, not like the Hot Topic stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Jeremy Enoch has this like angelic, amazing voice, and that'd
be good.
Pick. I also figured, it'll open people up to some, Sunny Day, not super known, but people don't know, like, for instance, the bass player of the Foo Fighters is from Sunny Day Real Estate, and the original drummer of the Foo Fighters was also from Sunny Day, because Dave Grohl loved Sunny Day so much, and pretty much when he was trying to put a band together, they had recently broken up, so he like reached out to them and kind of pulled them in. But then he was, being Dave Grohl, he didn't feel like the drum tracks were good enough, so he re-recorded the drums, so the drummer got pissed and quit.
Oops.
But the bass player stayed on. So the rhythm section essentially from the original Foo Fighters lineup was from Sunny Day Real Estate.
Yeah, the only song I'm familiar with is their song that was on Batman Forever, the soundtrack.
Yes.
Back in the 90s. And I can't for the life of me remember the name of that song.
Yeah, that was like their closest like little hint to kind of quote unquote fame.
Yeah.
Nice. I know I liked it, whatever it was. I got to look that up really quick too now. Damn it.
Didn't they only have
8. Okay.
Yeah.
The name of the song was 8.
A couple albums,
Yes.
right? It wasn't many. Diary was the main one.
Well, there was, Diary is their big one.
Yeah, that's the only one I'm
then they
too
did,
familiar
the
with.
Pink album. I think they're actually recording a new one soon, because they have recently gotten back together just without the bass player. Because although I bet you right now he wishes he was in Sunny Day instead of sitting at home.
Yeah.
But that's a different topic.
Nice.
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, I've added it to my list, so I'll listen to it tomorrow and let you know. I'll let you know how I feel.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So my choice. Immediately, my mind went immediately to David Bowie, because of the pedestal that they put David Bowie on, and specifically, so many artists of that era, that genre, and that generation. They always focus on Bowie and the inspiration that Bowie was. And my favorite song by Bowie is Heroes, so I would absolutely love to see, and I think Robert's voice kind of lends itself to that. And now that I'm saying that, it probably exists out there somewhere and I'm unaware of it.
I don't think so.
Well, now I want to ask an AI to give me a version of that, because I'm kind of getting goosebumps thinking about it.
That would be rad.
Just think of Robert not only lending his voice to the lyrics, but also his guitar to it too. Through those pedals of his, and I've given myself goosebumps. Now I want to hear that now, man.
Yeah.
Be a sweet nod with Reeves in it too.
Yeah,
totally,
doing
yeah.
something. If they stuck to like the old, not a Tin Machine one, but a classic Bowie song. but yeah, it always kind of bothered me.
Also, the emotion that Robert can put into it naturally with his voice, the way he does.
Yeah.
You know,
Depeche Mode did it. Depeche Mode did a cover of Heroes, and it was perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually how David Gahan got the job in fast fashion before they were Depeche Mode. Was they caught him doing a cover of Heroes, and it's good adjacent. It's not great, but it's all right. But Robert's voice just kind of lends itself to that. So
it's always tough with the double big hits, like like we've seen them do even when the Cure's done Depeche Mode. It's like it's almost like those all-star teams, or bands when you just when it's a little more dangerous when it's a really good artist doing a really good song. It's almost better to like have them choose like Twilight Sad or something where it's just like more of an obscure song or something. You're like, oh yeah, cool, all right.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite songs on this planet is "World in My Eyes" by Depeche Mode. So whenever I got the covers album and I'm like, holy shit, oh god, the Cure doing "World in My Eyes," this is amazing. I put it on and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's not.
Yeah.
For some reason, it doesn't really. It just totally feels like Robert did it in his basement, just by himself, which is cool in its own way. But it's All right, so mine's kind of in the Bowie vein. I would love to hear Robert do a Velvet Underground song. I think would be cool. Just because I love Lou Reed's songwriting, but of course Lou's voice isn't quite that amazing, even though everyone loves Lou or doesn't like Lou's voice, for whatever. It's like doing a Dylan cover or something, you could always improve on the vocal side of it, and really showcase
Can't get worse.
So I was thinking like Venus and Furs would be cool, but then it kind of got me thinking like even Lou's solo stuff. Like I love the song Perfect Day is a really good one, and that would be awesome to hear him just do like a really kind of cool piano-y soft, Robert doing Perfect Day would be pretty rad, I think. So
oh, it's such a perfect day, I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, such a perfect day, you just keep me hanging on, you just keep me hanging on. Just a perfect day.
that gets my vote, but I don't know, almost would be cooler to do like a cool rock weird Velvet Underground one that has like the little loopy shit going and he can really howl on it. so I don't know, but again, maybe dangerous because it's such a good song. And do you have a favorite cover that they have done? I did a covers episode, but I think I just did that one by myself and was not sure. Is there one that really stands out for you guys?
I really liked the version they did of Hello Goodbye.
Yeah, that was really good.
That's really good, but at the same time, really overplayed. I've heard it way too much, so I'm kind of like stay away from the covers. It's just here because Young Americans didn't. Young Americans didn't work for me. Although I do like the Purple Haze. Is it Purple Haze?
Purple Haze on
the split second version of it. I love that.
Or
no, it's Hello, I Love You. Hello, I Love You.
The really quick,
Hello,
punky,
I Love You. That one.
Hello,
tell
me what name.
Yeah.
I used to do a podcast called Nerd Tunes with my buddy Kevin, and we did an episode. Our whole thing was top 5 lists.
Yeah.
And our top 5 list was a April Fool's episode, and I'm like, this is the best Cure song you will ever hear in your life. It's an amazing cover of The Doors, and then I played that. And we never ran the songs to each other. We never played them for each other before the show.
Right.
So he was like, okay, and then it plays. It's like, what the fuck was that? But awesome. I mean. Yeah, I think Hello Goodbye.
That's good.
That's my choice.
Yeah, and I always like that.
I love the Thin Lizzy cover.
Yeah, It's always hard to just get a good quality
'cause I
of
love
those
it.
ones. It's like the real old bootleg ones, or they're like
Yeah.
shitty. But yeah, that's cool. I like the
Oh,
live.
the Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Yeah,
I'd,
that's what I
I'd
was just
love to
gonna-
hear that thing, man.
Oh yeah. I'd love
Yeah.
to hear that
Like
recorded.
a full studio
Yeah.
version of that would be great. That was
yeah.
like, so yeah, any of the Joy Division ones would be cool, because again, with the vocal thing, he could really just kind of take it to the next level, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's spin this sucker again, see what else we got. In case you can't hear it, I'll go. It's always the one you're like, I guess that'll. Robert Smith's solo album or The Glove Part 2. I don't even really know why they would be pitted against each other, but I guess it's kind of if you're gonna do something outside of the Cure,
That's still semi Robert related. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the side idea of the glove being with Severin, even though I don't know how active he is in anything anymore. So it's like, would you rather hear a weird kind of collaboration again, or just straight up Robert solo finally?
Is Landry involved? Right. What that was her name, right?
Yeah, we'll say no just to make it easier, more debatable.
You know what?
Yeah.
Because my response was going to be Robert Smith's solo album, unless if Landry was involved.
Yeah.
If she's not involved, The Glove too.
Okay.
Because I think the music in The Glove is my favorite part. Actually, her voice works too, but I don't know how her voice carries on. 40 years later. So. But we all three of us here right now know that Robert's voice is still amazing.
Yeah.
So I say Glove 2, Robert on vocals. I think the Steve and him working together again would be
kind of cool. Yeah, just to see how they would recapture it and have her like do some guest or backup vocals would be great too, so that would be awesome. But yeah, pretty cool. What do you think, Antonio? Do you have a preference?
I am gonna go with Robert Smith's solo, based on the fact that "Songs of a Lost World" being, we know now, like mainly written by Robert and still being so good, and I think he would want to change it enough where it wasn't the Cure, because then it would just be another Cure album. That I'm very curious on what it would be. How it would be, I like The Glove, but you give me more Robert, all Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total control, Robert. Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat. As much as I just talking briefly about the Glove 2 idea, would be like, it would be kind of cool just to see how he would approach that. Would he get all whacked out on drugs again and lock himself in a room?
I think that was part of the magic.
Yeah,
right?
Him and Severin just fucking whacked out on acid for like a month or so.
But if you did tell me Robert Smith's solo album or New Susie and the Banshees record with Robert in it,
yeah, maybe that's a better push and
then I'd be like, huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
That one would give me a little more.
I think I would still lean Robert's solo album because I'd be curious of like what little nuggets we as fans could dig out of like some old song he's been talking about for like 30 years, like some things that he might have just had but have his hinted to over the years of like, because there has been certain little things that like, that's that fucking song he's been talking, or I feel like there's at least 5 Robert solo albums just sitting on his hard drive, and like so it'd be cool if there was like little things that we could pull out, or he could tell the stories of that was a song he wrote during like the top era that just didn't work or something, and so more for that kind of angle would be cool, just to hear him, like you said, totally cut loose without it being a Cure cloud hanging over it.
So I've been, talking about Steve Severin, of course, bass player extraordinaire. It had me think of a question I wanted to ask you guys, actually dating all the way back to the Troxy live show. And maybe you have some insight. Maybe I'm just reading into it. But did you guys notice that there's just there seems to be a little bit of tension and not so much camaraderie right now between little Bobby Smith and Simon? I wasn't getting the 2023 tour vibe from those two, where they were all, chummy and leaning on each other the whole time. And it seemed like Simon and Reeves were really interacting with one another, and Robert was just kind of in his own little world, not really interacting with anybody else.
Yeah, it's weird because I would say, I mean, this all falls into just, speculating from distances away, of course, but, it was weird in the sense that I think like the show, I didn't pick up on anything because I just took it as he's just super concentrating hard, especially during the Songs of a Lost World. But then in the interviews, actually afterwards, he kind of had a couple things where he kind of joked on him because of his jacket hit his thing on the first song, and it made his strap came off, and he's kind of busting his balls a little harder than we normally hear him. And then like in another later one, he's all like, well, his bass tone's kind of cranky and just more aggressive, like he's gotten in the later years. Like he's saying things like that, or just like, what?
A little sassy Robert.
But, maybe they've always been like that. We just haven't really heard him talk about each other, much as like buddies would. But, at the same time, it did kind of stick in my head that after you said that, I'm like, I made a little mental note.
I mean, we're still trying to figure out what the betrayal is.
So something went a little awry. So they're never.
I mean, we clearly know there's been some issues.
Friction.
So, it is the, I guess,
And it is weird with these bands as they get older and, they're not like all going playing pool every weekend and stuff. It is more of a work thing now, I'm sure they're not hanging out all the
Simon's
time.
riding his bike.
Right.
And Robert's shooting drones that are flying above his house.
So who knows? But yeah, it's funny you say that because I definitely picked up on more of the interview side than the performance. But
Well, it started on the performance because I watched a lot of those 2023 shows. They're always like leaning on each other, and specifically during like Pictures of You and all that, and a few other songs, they would always kind of interact with one another. But this time at the Troxy specifically, he was going more over to Reeves, and he were joking around.
I did notice a lot more between him and Reeves, not thinking that kind of pulled away from him and Robert, but you're right. Because I did notice that. I was like, him and Reeves are vibing. And they're crushing it too. Because, again, I also think, but in my head, where I went for that was like, I think Simon is really enjoying now, like giving Reeves his credit in these are like, this is the first record that he, wrote and recorded his parts on. You know what I mean? So I think there was, for as long as he's been in the Cure now, this is a first for him, which is kind of fucking cool. So I was like, maybe that's just like, they're more chummy because of that,
See, now the listeners know exactly why it is that wheel spins take forever, because tangents, a lot of tangents.
What did they eat that night for dinner?
See, Simon had gas, and
everybody was avoiding Simon.
I was like, what the fuck? Cool. All right. Well, let's give it another spin then. See what else this stirs up. Spin. Click. Oh, almost had a controversial one, but we got dream show location. So, and I think I touched on when I did it with Henson on this one, and I think the big pull on this is, do you just say some city that you just kind of want to go on a vacation anyway, and then you happen to see a really awesome Cure show? Because a lot of them are just going to be like, keep it in perspective of, you're probably just going to an arena in that city, you could make it like a private performance on the beach somewhere or something, but so let your imagination run wild, I guess. But
my bedroom.
So we were like backyard, but like it was like, that'd be kind of weird. I don't know. It's like you only got like 6 friends and we're all just standing around going, that's awesome.
And then you got to give Robert a tour of your house beforehand, so he knows where the bathroom is. It's just awkward, right?
He's like, there's a lot of pictures of me me in your house. Like,
This is very strange.
Sorry, dude. We're big fans.
For me, there's a two-pronged answer to this. I've already seen them at the closest location to my house, which was about a half hour away.
Nice.
And it's literally 3 miles from my office door is where I saw them in San Bernardino, California, on Route 66. I saw them right there, and it was a pretty epic show. But if we're going like all-time like dream location, if I could travel somewhere and see them, I'd love to see them at Malahide, because my favorite place on this planet is Ireland. And I've been to Malahide Castle and right out of Dublin, and it is fucking gorgeous, dude.
That's awesome.
The people are gorgeous. The people are amazing, and there's just that environment I think would be incredible.
That's great and realistic too, right? Did they like maybe even kick off the tour there or something? There was something pretty, like one of. I just remember them. I think they played there, right? Isn't that like one of the, that's cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. Just like castle involved in any way is right. Pretty awesome.
It's almost like going to La Orange and seeing them there like again, right? I mean, that's like, or there,
Bolton
right?
Abbey thing, in front of the fucking, I don't know if they probably don't do shows there, but we could make it happen. Just bring a PA, we'll be good. But yeah, that'd be great. Cool. What about you, Antonio?
All right. This is one's going to be pretty epic.
Okay.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, kids. I would love to see The Cure at the Colosseum in Rome.
Yeah. That was on my...
Wow.
I mean, with, like right as the sun's going down, like that gorgeous structure, just fucking, all its history, all like, and the people are amazing there. The food is incredible there. Obviously, it would just be like mind blowing.
Yeah,
That
would be beautiful. Was that where the 2008 thing was? I mean, they were like outside of it. It was like behind. I should have looked this up since the last one. I think I pondered this too, but it was like they did the 413 in its entirety.
The Cure live in Rome at the Plaza San Giovanni in October 2008.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So I don't know if that's like, because I feel like it's
the stars.
Yeah,
underneath the stars.
Yeah. That was pretty. So almost doable. Yeah, something like that. Because I think it's like the backdrop for it more. They're not going to drop you right in the pyramids or something. But have them be like right in front of it or something. So.
I want to see them playing King Tut's too.
Yeah.
Didn't Pink Floyd did their like live in Pompeii? There was no audience. It was just them in the middle of Pompeii playing
like
and it's
shaking all the things. It's like you're destroying it. But, wow, that'd be pretty epic.
Let the volcano erupt again.
Yeah, something like that.
I wouldn't mind.
If you're gonna go, I guess it's. I don't even remember what I said to Headset on the last one, but I got thinking there's a place I'm dying to see a show at. It's in Tennessee, so it's only like 4.5 hours from our house, called the Caverns. And so like a lot of people don't really tour there. They've just been having like string cheese incident and shit like that. but it's like in between like Nashville and Chattanooga, and it's a fucking like cave cavern that they're doing like shows in. So they light it up, and the pictures online look fucking cool as shit. It's like real small capacity. I think it's like 800 something if you do seats, 1,000 if you do standing. Wow. But something like that would be rad, because you would just be it would be a real small show for the Cure, of course, but if we're doing dream scenarios, right? So something like that would be kind of cool, because otherwise I would love to just see up at Australia or Paris, but you're going to be in some arena or at the opera house even would be pretty fucking great, but
it's all like setting, that's why like the Colosseum's cool, castles are cool. I just pulled up the one that popped into my head was I don't know why I went U2, but Red Rock Amphitheater in Colorado.
That was actually my answer last time.
Totally.
Yeah, Yeah, just
And
seeing
they
them with
played
the sun
there,
going down.
I think in
the back.
2016, maybe. I think they did that. So that's
Wow.
possible. That would be fucking awesome. Even when they were announcing the
Yeah.
last tour, I was like, if they're doing Red Rocks, I'm gonna figure out how to get there. Because have you ever seen a show there or anything like that? Have you been there? Yeah, it looks
man. I
amazing.
just
the stuff online.
just the images and the the videos I saw, it's incredible.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the only time I was ever in Colorado, I played a show in a bookstore. So
There you go.
nice.
Not quite Red Rocks, but it's still the.
no, yeah, exactly.
But at least in the same state.
There you go.
Yeah.
we went to Colorado to Estes Park. We went to the hotel that inspired Stephen King to write The Shining.
Oh, cool.
And we went and toured that hotel and did the whole Stephen King tour.
Yeah.
And just gorgeous, just in the middle of the Rockies, absolutely stunning. And then you go to Denver and it's just flat as far as the eye can see. It's like
Wow.
beautiful mountains, turn to the right and nothing until you hit the ocean, right? It's incredible. But the Red Rocks is right there in the middle, in the heart of all those mountains, and just
Yeah, that would be cool. Definitely good.
sign me up.
Good choice. Cool. All right. Let's spin it again.
Spin that wheel.
Big money, big money, big money.
Bankrupt. Favorite lyric. Oh boy.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Put me on
damn
the.
it.
Because of the-
And knowing my luck, I'm going to say a lyric, and it's going to be wrong
Right.
because
That's what I
there's
was
so
like,
many.
well, we'll give everyone the benefit of the doubt. It's late here. It's okay.
Oh no!
You got the right idea.
That's what cell phones are for.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, favorite lines. I mean, so many good ones. So many, the ones that hit. Want me to kick this one off? You guys look like you're.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't do my homework.
Everyone's heads are exploding.
I've got one, but I can't. I can't. Yeah, go for it.
Let's see. Yeah, it was hard to figure what would be. The one I guess I've always liked to just shout out is there's that line in Catch that's like even though it always felt soft at the time, I always used to wake up sore, which is kind of casually thrown out there, and not even like a overly sexual way or anything, but just like that young love, kind of innocent. I love it because it's like just throws you back to like, like making out when you're a kid, all like for long extended periods of time, and your arms all fucking twisted somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like this sweet, tender moment as a kid, even, and then the next day you're like, my fucking neck is like killing me. So it's something I think everyone can identify with, and it just, I don't know, that's always been like kind of my most romantic Cure song, I think, is Catch, for some reason, just all the Frenchiness and the violins and shit, something about it just makes it, and that line always just really hits because it's kind of just pass through of these kind of normal, cool Cure lines, and then it's like, even though it felt soft at the time, I always used to wake up sore. So I'll go with that for now.
Cool. I'd probably have to go with the one that immediately popped into my head, and I was looking at it, making sure I wasn't getting it out of order. If only I'd thought of the right words, I could have held on to your heart. There's not a lyric out of place on Disintegration as a whole,
Right.
but that song in particular, especially the older I get, the more it's bringing everybody down. Nice downer, right?
Nah,
the more people you've had to let go of, and you've seen go, it just hits a lot harder than it used to. It used to be just that pretty song that I used to sing along to, and now it's like there's actually meaning behind those lyrics that was not there, for 30 plus years ago.
Yeah,
so
I 100% agree. Yeah, that one's particular is so good, and like you said, it just keeps aging with us somehow. Like you said,
unfortunately,
it just keeps getting more and more meaning to it. So perfect choice. What do you think, Antonio?
So I am going to give some respect and love to a lyric from the latest Cure record.
Yeah.
right on.
As I could always go to some of those, but and it's it's the opening two lines from End Song, and I'm outside in the dark staring at the blood red moon, remembering the hopes and dreams I had and all I had to do. Because I was actually thinking that tonight when I was driving home, because the harvest moon tonight was gigantic and like orange, and it was like the sky here in New York was completely clear. And my wife and I got into that whole discussion of like, people are always like, oh, are you moon person or like staring at the a beautiful sun? Like, I love a great sunrise and a great sunset, but there's nothing more amazing to me than a giant full like red or yellow or like harvest moon. There's just something so like powerful about it. And it's like the first time hearing End Song and like really picking that line apart, I was like just thinking of all the times I like have stood like staring up at it, feeling that way, and it's like an amazing punch.
So classic, like Robert too. You could just picture it so well. Like him out at his little,
absolutely.
patio or whatever the hell, and he's just out there staring up.
Yeah, sometimes like slowing down and just staring at it, but all the things we have to do, and time goes by, but that's still the big amazing moon that I stared at when I was a little kid. That's like, what's the moon? Or a distraught teenager. And now like later in life, it's still that moon. It's still this beautiful, amazing thing. But we look at it in different thoughts now as we get older.
It's a constant in a world of turmoil, right?
100%. You could still kind of go to that,
Yeah. And he's, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's just a testament to the way his lyric, he can write a song like a painter can paint, right? I mean, it's
absolutely,
it is pure art. And you say those lyrics and it's like, oh shit, yeah, I could walk out right now. And I get that immediate vibe.
Toots magoots.
And the way that it's not overly flowery, all those ones that we've said, they're when you single them out, they're not really anything that would be like, oh, you put this on a billboard or something. But it's like in the context of the song and just what it can do, like all those lines are just
and the emotion that it invokes.
Yeah.
And again, it's not him going and trying to be, when we were reviewing the reviews,
right?
He's not out there going, let me use a big SAT word to show how smart I am at songwriting. Right. It's like, no, it's just let me pour my fucking heart out onto a piece of paper and then put it in a song and give it to people so that they can place it in their emotions.
Yeah. It's my wife and I were having this conversation because I think Coldplay was playing. And it's like the music, especially old Coldplay, the music sounds really good. The lyrics mean nothing. It's gibberish. The music sounds fine, but the lyrics are nonsense. And that's the difference between there's so many other differences. But you know what I mean?
I literally just said this at dinner when Coldplay was playing in the restaurant. I was like, you know what Coldplay is like? And they're like, what? I'm like, it's like eating like vanilla ice cream that's not good.
Cotton candy, you put it in your mouth and it's gone. It's empty. Empty calories.
Zero substance. Like, is vanilla ice cream a good thing? Yeah, for sure. It'd be great with all these other things in it or a good version of it. But it's like just getting the store brand vanilla ice cream is like listening to Coldplay. And I'm sorry for the Coldplay fans out there.
I think you're safe. But I was gonna shout out. It's cool that the full moons all have their nicknames. The wolf moon. This is the January is the wolf moon. Actually.
That's right.
So very cool. And I love the idea of going back to the moon talk of just how it is a constant, but at the same time, I don't know. I always feel like when I see a big ass full moon, especially if it's some kind of harvest moon or something, or it's got a weird shit, you're like, oh shit. When you're just driving and you just see like the big full, like it can still be surprising somehow.
Like, cause like you're driving and then all of a sudden you're turning into that. Now it's in front of you and like, where the fuck did that come from?
Like, and it's massive.
And it's like exciting and kind of cool.
But then 2 hours later, it's tiny and it's up there. And you're like, hey, why'd you get so far away, my friend? friend.
Yeah.
Come back.
It's like
Let's
the
have a
sun's
beer.
great and all, but it's always just fucking right there and blowing your face out.
Yeah.
Like the moon's like, oh shit, the moon. And then you start automatically being like, that's no moon. And then it turns into this whole thing.
I was waiting for that. I was
Yes.
like, someone do it.
It's a whole experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Should we take another spin? All right, let's see what we got here.
Let's go controversial. Come on.
Oh, so this is really get the almost. Favorite personal cure moment. Oh, I don't know if I even
Personal
wrote that on your list. I might have left that off. But your cure moment at heart, I guess. And I guess that could be really interpreted a lot of things like these. It could be a physical thing or just an event or that moment at the school dance. Who knows?
My school wasn't cool enough to play The Cure.
Nah, that was always a tall order.
I wasn't cool enough to go to any school dances. I was like,
that time they played it at the mall. Who knows? But,
yeah. I was at the roller skating rink and it was couples skate and
No, my dance date is in the other room right now. We used to go to. She went to my homecoming and prom. I went to hers, and it's
nice.
But they never played The Cure.
Never
man.
a Cure one at any of the dances.
No.
Damn.
Not that I can think of. Yeah.
for me, it's, got to get sappy. And it's definitely, looking over at my kids, seeing The Cure with me at Madison Square Garden, and just their overwhelming excitement,
Yeah.
like passing on something, seeing, the official passing on of something that I love so much that I didn't force on them, that they naturally gravitated towards,
Yeah.
was just like one of those moments that like you just, that can't be duplicated. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's hard to
wow,
top that.
like
That's awesome.
and I was just like, I was like, it's like I did something right,
Yeah.
because initially I was gonna say when Elvis surprised me in his like music school band, covered a Cure song and he kept it a secret from me, but I was like,
Right.
you know what trumps that? Like seeing his face when they first came out and hit the stage, and that first note, it was just like, oh, holy shit,
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty rad. It's,
Yeah. For me, it was 92, seeing him live for the first time and taking Julie, my wife. That was her very first concert.
awesome.
And we were 13 rows back from the stage in the center on the floor of the Rose Bowl. And it's
that's
like
awesome.
they come out and
good seats.
they yeah. I worked at Music Plus. I worked at Music Plus, and we used to find inventive ways of getting really good seats. But those opening notes of Open, just seeing it and having them come out, and it's like, oh my God, they're real. It's not just seeing them on TV anymore. Oh, he's right there. So that was right there. Just I still remember the stage set up and these weird spinning lights they had on the sides that would like illuminate red, and everything was red and wild, and they had all these weird
Pretzels.
almost like paper mache
Yeah,
pretzels. Above. And God, it just that will forever just be ingrained in my head.
That's awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, and you're probably like me. We're like, I've waited so long for this moment. We're like 17, 15. I was 15.
I was 17. Yeah. She was 14. I'm still trying to figure out how her parents let me take her to a concert.
It's because it's the Cure. It's like,
right?
It's like he's one of those Cure fans. It'll be fine. He'll probably just cry all night. It'll be great. But
if anything, he'll be wearing the lipstick.
Right?
You don't have anything to worry about. It's not like she's gonna marry him or something.
It's funny though, because I almost did cry, because when we were buying the merch at the merch booth, of course it's the merch booth, I dropped my ticket.
Oh no!
I lost my ticket.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, I had to go get the wristband to get down on the floor. And the only saving grace was the fact that Ticketmaster was there. And because I worked at Music Plus, I knew the transaction number, I knew the section number, I knew the seat number because I sold it to myself. So I was able to get in there and tell them I was in this section, this seat, and they're looking it up and they're going, oh, okay. Yeah, we see that the transaction was coupled with her transaction because she still had her ticket, and they reprinted me the ticket.
Damn.
That was almost
crazy.
tragic.
Yeah, that's definitely, wow, God, that's like a whole thriller movie right there, you know?
I know, right?
That probably won her over right there. She's like, holy shit, this dude's got his connections and he's
So, and he's a little intense.
Yeah, he's really into this path and he's not gonna let this go.
Scott took on Ticketmaster before
before Robert. That's
Seriously.
Well, that's great. Mine would be like a twofold combo of both of yours, I guess, then, because like my favorite Cure moment would be trumped recently by taking Henson and, you know, KC to see the Cure together all in Miami. The fact that they had the whole Love Cats experience was just made it like, I mean, he was already glowing at that point, you know, through the roof, but it was just so kind of funny, you know, in the whole sense that the whole tour leading up, did they play Love Cats yet? Did they play Love Cats? I'm like, nah, dude, they're not gonna fucking play Love Cats. Like, even at the meetup, everyone's all like, sorry, little guy, nobody's playing, they're not gonna play Love Cats. Like, fucking out of nowhere, the only time on the tour they play Love Cats. So he was just like, bah! You know,
So
Christmas
perfect.
Day kind of thing. So that was great. Can't top that. And then the only thing that would compare would be my first time being the kid myself, seeing him on the Wish tour, and just that my fucking heart about to explode in my chest. And we were in nosebleeds, of course, but it still felt great. It's like, look at them. I could almost see them, but they're great. This is great. And like you said, just hearing the, you know, everything leading up to that moment is totally indescribable of how important that was and great, you know. So, It's a very emotional episode of the Holy Hour.
yeah. I hope you all have tissues.
Yes,
It's a tearjerker.
totally. We got time for another? We good?
Sure.
Let's do another. All right.
Okay, big money, big money, big money.
Come on, baby.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Here's our controversial one. This will get everybody all riled up. Bring one ex-Cure back as they've done in the past. And I put the little asterisk that, all right, so no one's getting fired for the ex-member. It would be that member that you love dearly and respect has decided to become a, you know, goat farmer, just give it all up or do whatever. And we are urgent. We need somebody to fill the spot quick, you know? So which guy are you bringing back at this point? I think.
I mean, the Cure just hasn't been the same since Michael Dempsey left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, geez, it's.
When you really strip it down, I think the choices will be fairly obvious, but at the same time, nobody's really fighting to bring Matthew back on keys, probably, but we'll see. Who knows?
Who knows?
Possibilities are endless.
Honestly, really seriously, and it's no knock on Jason at all, but Boris is my answer. Boris is just, you know, he was the drummer when I got into the band. You know, it's seeing them live the first time. He was the man. You know, and just watching him, focusing on him doing his thing was always just fascinating. Yeah. But again, that's nothing against Jason at all. Right. You watch that MFR up there on stage just wailing away. Watch him do Burn. Yeah. Holy shit. How does he do that? It's just incredible. Yeah. So not a knock on Jason at all. I think he's a great fit. He's, other than Simon and Robert, he's been in the band the longest, hasn't he? Nonstop.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think.
So to all the Jason haters out there, calm down. Yeah. He's awesome, but Boris, I would bring Boris.
He's a machine.
Yeah.
Literally a fucking.
And he makes all those funny faces to watch too. Yeah. He makes the goofiest faces whenever he's drumming. But no, could you imagine he and Boris up there in tandem doing some kind of wild
percussion thing? I guess we got a taste of it on the acoustic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you could bring in the percussion.
That's hardly. But yeah, since that's my choice too, I think just goes with the idea of like praise for Jason in the sense of like, I always, when people start getting stupid about that, like the idea of like, well, he fucking plays all the old shit like seamlessly. You know, I feel like if you can play everything prior and then fucking slay it on all the stuff that he actually played, oh, what can you complain about? You know, it's like there's never been a song where I'm like, ooh, he's really dragging ass on this one, which would even be fine at this point if there was just like a few Cure songs from the back catalog that he didn't quite fucking nail it the way I prefer. Even, you know, I'd even be fine with that. But
he sucks at playing Boys Don't Cry.
Yeah, it's like if his version of fucking Shake Dog Shake was just a little shittier or something, I'd be like, whatever, it's fine, you know. But like he fucking kills it. I feel like I've never been, you know, I'm not the pickiest with drum stuff, maybe, but like I feel like it always his energy level is high, and that's a huge part of the longevity of the Cure and how they're able to play these marathon shows and sound fucking great still, is because you have a fucking youthful, young, strapping, healthy, physical drummer, you know? So
who I think is our age now.
Yeah.
Or he's a little bit older. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess as far as the question of bringing him back, it would be cool for Boris just because he's such a distinctive drummer in a sense of like hearing what he would do like on Songs of a Lost World or something would be like, oh yeah, that might be kind of different, would be kind of cool, you know, just to hear any new songs moving forward might have a different flavor. I'd say Pearl would be a cool second, but we had Pearl come back for, 2008.
We all know the correct answer to this question is Disintegration era Tolhurst.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's it. Lol, Disintegration era Lol.
Are they really the Cure without him on the couch?
Untouchable.
Hurling insults at him from the couch.
I mean, that's what made that album, man.
Nobody's really lobbying for that, I don't think. Even if you really loved the early years, I don't see him up in the arena drum set really fucking slaying.
You're just a hater. You just don't get
it. Guess,
You don't understand the level of art that Lol brought to the table.
I guess I am guilty on that one. I'll just take the. But, what about you, Antonio? Did you have someone in mind that wasn't Boris? Or?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was going to be the same answer.
Yeah, I guess that one is. I guess even just weighing up the other options, you know, I guess if they somehow lost Simon, I would want Phil Thornalley, I guess. I like him. He's cool. I don't know if he seems to be able to hold it down, but Michael Dempsey, it seems like that train sailed a long time ago. So I don't know.
At that point, it's just like bring Eden out. Let Eden do
it. That's what I was going to say.
The best option there. So, so there really isn't much, like you said, even with the keys factor. If Roger's out, the guy that filled in on the South American tour did great. We'll bring him back. I'd take him probably over, Lowell trying to thumb through it,
the other thing I was going to say though is my other answer with a slight tweak to it would be, would be Pearl, but as addition, like as third guitar.
Pearl and
not
Reeves?
as replacing. Yeah.
Oh man,
exactly.
Guitar battle.
They're just like fucking wailing on each other.
Yeah.
But everybody walks out with their ears bleeding. It's like, it was the most amazing thing ever.
It's like a 17-minute long version of From the Edge of the Deep Green Sea.
Yeah. Like they do a night like this, and they would just go back and forth on the saxophone solo, like shredding.
And I guess the other wrench in this question is Perry would be someone everybody just wants back at the Cure. He doesn't really have to even do anything. It's just like always nicer having Perry up there. It's like just have him hitting something, and he's filling out the sound, like he's doing great with it. But it's like, he's the dude as far as bringing back members. Everyone was like, oh, he's so fucking cool and so sweet. It's like that would be great to have Perry in there somehow, and they did it. So.
I love that Robert went to bat for Perry too. Just a couple of weeks ago, that was pretty awesome, and it surprised me in the liner notes that Perry wasn't. I mean, granted, I'm sure Perry didn't record anything for the album, but you'd think as part of the touring band, I don't know, it's probably something to do with royalties or something that kept him off the liner notes. But
I was a little surprised he didn't just throw him in there just but maybe it was a later deal done kind of thing there, and probably I guess there is a certain level of royalty respect to the other actual members in the band and stuff too, or it's like, were we gonna,
maybe that's what the betrayal was. Maybe they were gonna take some money away from
maybe,
Simon by putting Perry on there.
It's like, you won't have to see him, he's on the far end of the stage.
Don't go over there, don't cross this line.
We're cracking all the conspiracy theories tonight.
But also even with the label, it could have to do with technically, like, well, then they would have to add him to something else.
I'm sure Perry's totally happy just to be touring and, probably making more money from all that than he would any album royalties anyways. So whatever his cut is, he's probably doing better with that. So, pretty cool. But it's a kind of a moot point, that question we can scrap. Tell Boris. It's like, go. Let's do another one real quick.
All right.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, this is a better controversial one here to end on. We can start winding down on the least favorite Cure song.
And why is it Club America?
Oh, yeah. Club America.
I hate that song.
Really anxious. Yeah, that one probably gets a lot of people's votes, I think.
There's something. I mean, the music is all right. It doesn't. It's just that his voice on it. I know he was doing a thing, right? He was doing a thing like a character, but it's the most skippable song in their entire catalog for me personally. Yeah. And I'll listen to Lost. I'll listen to oh God, what's the worst song on the self-titled? I can't listen to Club America. I can't listen to Club America.
Here's a question then, I guess. How much of that weighs on the fact that it's like track 2 to like, does that really hurt it, or did you just hate it all the way around?
I just don't like it, man.
Part of me is kind of like, it's like you're fucking going hard after one. It's like, let's fucking do this. Wild Mood Swings then it's like, then you get into like Club America, and it's like, So
it's like 413. 413 starts off with Underneath the Stars, and you're like, they're back. This is gonna be amazing. And the rest of the album hits, and it's like, this is not as amazing as I was hoping it was going to be.
So a lot of it's a sequencing, but I don't know. Club America, I love like the wah wah, but even that gets a little kind of annoying. It rocks, but
it's the only song in my iTunes in the entire Cure catalog that I literally went and put a thumbs down on it so it wouldn't come up
just block
often
that one
on the random playlist. I can't remove it because it's part of the collection. It's got to be there, but it's.
Well, that's like I own a copy, an original pressing of The Top on vinyl, but I will never play it.
So segueing to you, is one of yours off at the top?
Absolutely.
The whole album.
Oh no!
Wailing Wall.
Really? Yeah.
Really?
I can't skip it fast enough.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Just the overall feel.
There's plenty of songs I don't like on there, but it also doesn't feel like a Cure song. I don't know. And
they were trying to think.
Yeah.
They were trying to think, and it didn't have Simon. And
I
don't know. I mean, it's still my least favorite Cure record. I'll still listen to the self-titled record before I'll listen to The Top.
Wow.
From beginning to end.
Yeah.
But but I will say, like, Shake Dog Shake, I like better than any song on the self-titled.
Yeah.
But if you I have to listen to the entire record and I have no choice, it just, there's just so much on The Top that I find beyond cringy that I just can't handle.
Not even
okay.
Yeah, cool. I have to go maybe too safe and go with the later ones. I normally would say Never, the one that maybe you're trying to think of from the self-titled album. That's the one right before Promise. It's just like, I don't want to go. Blah, blah. It's just like these. It's like I've listened to that album a billion times and I can never remember how that song goes. It's just like this plotting, like screaming mess that's not catchy at all. And I'm just like, oh, God.
Yeah, but again, the thing that I brought up when we discussed it, like a few months ago, we were talking about the self-titled. There's something that I kind of came across this year about that record, where if I put that album on and I tell myself mentally, Antonio, this is not a Cure album, it's just a rock album, and I think about those songs and I think it's not the Cure, it's not Robert Smith singing them, there's solid good things about those songs. I just don't want them to be Cure songs. And I don't want Robert to sound that way. But I'm like, if you took fucking Chino from the Deftones and he sang this song, I'd be all about this song.
Yeah.
So, so to me, I'm like, I put it on, like, if it's on in the background, I can rock out to like, all right, this part and this bopping this, and this is not a Cure record. It's just on in the background while I'm swimming in my pool or, having a beer. It's tolerable, but if you put the top on in the background, I'm like, can someone turn this off?
I'd be the other way.
So,
I'm just like, why is this fucking dude screaming at me in like this fucking song that is going nowhere? It has no hooks.
Yeah, but I listen to a lot of music with people screaming.
Yeah,
it's a hardcore kid. So like again, that's what I'm saying. Like if that record was, Chino from the Deftones singing, or I can name a bunch of other people that I could see doing those songs and it would make sense.
Yes.
But it just doesn't make sense because it's not them and it's not him. And it's like its identity is lost. It's not that the songs are completely shit. It's that it's shit for a band that's phenomenal that shouldn't sound that way.
Right. Yeah, perhaps.
So that's my thought.
Yeah.
It's funny because you've got all those tracks of just yelling, end of the world. Oh, okay, there's the Cure.
Yeah.
Yelling, taking off. Oh, there's the Cure again.
Yeah.
Where'd they come from?
Yeah.
And then more yelling, there's
I really think if he took that record and redid the vocals the way that he is, we wouldn't hate it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and if that's the only tweak that you need to make, it makes it better to me.
And there is like what on that
the stuff like
Cure...
Wailing Wall that like I don't care who sings that, it doesn't sound good to me. Like I don't like it. Like I don't. It's just. But there's things in that where I'm like I think a redo of how he sings on it would change everything on that record.
Maybe. Yeah,
I'm
there's
convinced.
a few of those I feel like they're just not catchy songs. Like, and even the one worse than Never that would probably be my go-to is that Scream song, the Scream on 413, where he's like, it just like drops out at one point. And he's like, whoa. Just like, what the fuck is going on in this song? And they're both so late in the album that they just kill the flow of it. Like by that point, I'm definitely not fucking turning it on again. I'm just like staggering across the finish line. I'm like, hey, come on, man, which is just so rare for the Cure for me anyway. Where I'm like dying to put it on again after hearing it, and I was just like, so I don't even know which is the worst of the two, but for me, least favorite Cure song.
Like I said, they're both from the bottom of the pile. If I were to rank the records, it's just,
and that's even kind of just safe picking ones from those later albums. It is kind of more like we should pick from ones that are earlier, but no one's gonna really be too offended with any of these. I don't think that Club America fan is really gonna.
We're not gonna. I doubt we're gonna find anyone that's gonna be like, "Wailing Wall is my wedding song." You asshole. I have the lyrics of that song tattooed on my back. You prick.
Maybe. I'm probably somebody out there.
A tramp stamp.
Oh man. Oh, I'm not gonna go into that.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell a tramp stamp story, but it's not Cure related. everyone's probably that's listening is going, wait, does Antonio have a
He's
tramp
got
stamp?
That's why you gotta sign up to the Patreon and
Stay tuned for the holy half hour to find out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, maybe on this note we should wrap up and let you guys go. Getting late here, and hopefully you enjoyed the wheel. We'll save some of the topics for the next time, and yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we could just replace the ones we did and keep the other ones for the next time we're feeling sassy.
Yeah.
Shit, just look at what we still have on there. There's still a ton of
know.
topics on there. It drops off whenever.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot. We got a lot to cover. So
Right on.
Well, I mean, we'll let the people tell us too. Yeah. You can hit us up on social media if you really liked this and you want to hear more of it.
And if you're totally heartbroken that we didn't get to one that we listed in the beginning, we'll do a full episode of it. So how about that?
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool deal. Well, thank you so much for being here, Scott, and
thank you.
Sharing the idea.
This is fun. This is great. It's great fun. It's always good to hang out with you guys and talk my other passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just a bunch of nerds.
Shit, we didn't get the Star Wars question. Who would you cast Robert Smith as? Fake wheel. I'm just pretending, and it lands on. Who would you cast him as?
Yeah, we have to just answer.
But yeah, who would you cast Robert Smith as in the Star Wars universe?
Oh God!
Like an existing character, it's just he would play it.
No, just what type of character? I think.
Oh, okay.
Like, what role would you give him? Would it be a?
Well, he would have to be a musician on Atten. Since it looks like downtown Pasadena, you can. No, that's the cheap and easy way to go. Honestly, Jesus, what do you cast him as? Number one, I think back to all those stupid castings that they did for Attack of the Clones, where they had like NSYNC in the Battle of Geonosis, and I'm like, okay, I don't want anything like that. And then you think, okay, there's been some instances where there's been bands, and you've got like Max Rebo and Sice Noodles, and God, he wouldn't fit in there.
Like you've jamming with Max Rebo
nodes. No, he wouldn't be jamming with Max Rebo. He wouldn't be with the modal nodes in Shaman's Cantina.
He would not be an X-wing pilot.
No,
definitely.
Could you imagine? You can't stamp that hair down, and you got to.
I was just say he can't put that hair, under that helmet for sure.
And even some kind of Sith would be a little too obvious, or he's dark,
or even wearing a robe. He can't even put a robe up over that. So,
Maybe.
I mean, all right. I'm gonna go with a funny little one that I can see in my head.
Okay.
I'm thinking he is a bartender, like at the cantina. You know what I mean? Like there's something kind of going down, and like someone like kind of leans over and asks for a drink, and there's Robert Smith giving him a drink and giving him a quick little one-liner. I'd just be like, oh,
like yelling at the Skeleton Crew kids or something. Be like, oh, you kids can't be in here, and they're like, oh,
put your blasters away. This is let's save for drinks.
Family establishment.
Just like.
So is he there in full, or is he just voicing? Is he just doing the voice of a character? Because I could absolutely see him doing some sort of, or being the voice of some sort of like really fucked up droid or something, right?
That's definitely
you've got SM-33 from Skeleton Crew. Hey everybody, get off my ship. I could totally see him doing some sort of a voice of a droid,
or even like a little.
I'm picturing him. I'm picturing him there, like hair and makeup, the whole nine, but like, but all wearing nothing but earth tony clothing, like not being black, and like
I could almost see him like some kind of like Tatooine, almost like the dude was
merchant.
it Ungar? What's his name that was selling Ray the portions or whatever. Something like that, where he's just like,
Simon Pegg.
Like I could see him being like in robes or something, and he's just kind of like, oh, here's your portions, like almost like the medieval, like, oh, get out of my land, something like that would be kind of cool. But
He's like the knight. He's like the Black Knight in the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
It's just a flesh wound.
None shall pass.
Yeah. I just can't see him wielding a lightsaber or a blaster. So it has to be something more.
Yeah. Or a creature, like we're saying. I could see him being like some kind of equivalent to the little caterpillar dude in Labyrinth, like a little hello, where are you going?
Oh, that way? Go straight to that castle.
Yeah, so something like that.
Or some kind of little tiny creature that's fixing or doing something. You know what I mean?
Like Babu Frick's people, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Little Muppet with a Robert Smith voice.
Yeah.
Which is funny because the person who did the voice of Babu Frick was Moaning Myrtle from the Harry Potter series.
Okay.
Yeah. So I could totally see Robert doing another one of those creatures. That'd be fun.
That's all solid choices.
Yeah. I could see Robert Smith in Harry Potter more than Star Wars, but
absolutely
I'd rather have him in Star Wars because I love Star Wars and I'm not really a Harry Potter person.
You blasphemer.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm an equal opportunity nerd. So
I just can't do it. But I mean, I'll sit here and talk Doctor Who all night long. So I mean,
all right. And why is it that he hasn't been in an episode of Doctor Who?
Yeah,
right.
If he could do South Park, he could do Doctor Who.
All of them. I'm lobbying for the whole.
Or at least Simon in there.
Put Simon in there. Yeah, that's it.
Simon needs to be there. He needs to be a victim. That's one of those questions where on Facebook where people ask, if you were a character in the Star Wars universe, who would you be? What kind of character would you be? I'm like victim number 10.
Yeah,
I'm not cool enough to be a Jedi. I'm not sly enough to be a smuggler. I'd be victim number 10 on Alderaan.
Totally.
Yeah. See, I think I could definitely be a pirate on one of the ships.
Yeah.
There you go.
I give off pirate vibes.
See that? Yeah.
Occasionally.
I'm the guy on Atten who's just pushing the button.
Yeah, I'm one of the worried parents on that end.
There you go.
100%. Like, where's Hudson?
Where's my little elephant kid? Totally. Awesome.
Great deal.
Well, I'm glad we checked that box.
Neil with 2 E's, guys. Neil with 2 E's.
Totally.
You just change the spelling and it
totally
makes
counts.
it okay.
That's right.
Very cool. All right. Well, we'll let you go now for reals this time. Sorry, but I had to cover that. We couldn't let you out of here without that. So.
Yeah, we got to let nerd worlds collide.
Totally.
That's right.
Awesome.
I tell you that was the coolest thing ever with the Wish program. Whenever both Simon and Robert said that Star Wars was one of their favorite movies, I'm like, that's it.
I know, right?
My life is complete.
It's definitely in my list of Robert questions to ask him. I'm like, so do you follow the new shit, or like what level Star Wars fan are we talking? Because I always thought those are like the best like celebrity or hero interactions, or if you could find something that you mutually like, that isn't just talking about how great Disintegration is. It would be great to like just share a moment over a beer of like how fucking cool Star Wars is or something with Robert.
Yeah, if I met Simon in a bar, I would just like want to walk up to him and be like, "Allons-y," it's like see if he does it back,
Yeah, because then it just kind of like bridges it, or doesn't feel quite as weird, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool, and especially if they're like, whoa, he was messing all those facts up. He doesn't know shit about Star Wars. It's like, right, wow, Robert. It's like confusing all his shit. And it's like, okay.
No, it's whenever he says something like, "Oh yeah, my favorite was always Rise of Skywalker."
Yeah, something that just.
And it's just like, oh really? God, really?
At the moment, you're like, yeah, me too, man.
I know, right? And then you go home and you're like, damn it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll rewatch that, see if it's good. Give it another shot.
It's not.
So
I'll still take it over episode 2.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much out there, and let us know what you think, and send us any other topics too for next wheel that we could add. So always good to get listener input. And you guys out there, Scott, Antonio, hitting the mic. Have a good night. We'll catch you soon. Keep safe out there, Scott. Keep those fires back.
Will do. Keep it nerdy, my friends.
Woo-hoo, talk hard.
can't say no until we love them all.
All right, special thanks again to Scott and Antonio for spinning the wheel with me. Like I said, if you think you've got a good idea or topic for the wheel, feel free to send it on over. Just email it to me at gavinconnor@gmail.com. I would like to kick off the post-show credits with a special thank you to JC, who hooked up Henson with a special cool gift, adding Primary to his 7-inch collection. He absolutely adores it and is playing it constantly, so thank you so much, man. And on to the Patreon. Thank you so much for your continued support. Head on over to patreon.com/The Holy Hour Podcast to see if it's something you'd like to join up on. If nothing else, signing up gets your name added to the wheel, so a possible chance to win a prize. But mostly cool just because you'll be in the likes of Donna, Craig, Jeff Hilton, Jeff Cortland Jones, Sue, John, Alan, Allison, Dion, Amicio, Matt Ford, Tom Burns, Letty, John Roberts, Jason, Tony, Ben, Matt Fisher, Danny, Coulter, Tom Johnson, Francisco, Arno, Chip, Amber, and our first wheel winner, Nicholas, Shirley, Jason Hall, Steve, Mara, Caroline, Brian, and Sean. And of course, tonight's special guest host, the one and only Scott Kruger. You can check out his podcast, The Sarlacc Digest. It's an all-Star Wars podcast that airs every Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube or Facebook. Or catch the replays anywhere and anytime you want on any streaming service that you listen to podcasts on. And you can check out Scott's amazing artwork at The Art of Scott Solo on Instagram. All those words are separated by an underscore. Always a pleasure hanging with you, Scott. Thanks so much for joining us. And David, who's another amazing human and artist. Check out David's work at The Obsessive Geek on Etsy, where you can find super cool 3D printed recreations of the Three Imaginary Boys and Boys Don't Cry album covers, amongst other great artifacts to decorate your walls and keep things wonderfully cure. Speaking of wonderful cure things, Kate's over at curethreads.com and has heaps of lovely original Cure-inspired designs and products waiting for you to come gobble up, as well as a newly designed album cover for the Just Like Heaven Cure tribute album coming out on American Laundromat Records in February. And you can enter Cure Threads and get 10% off at checkout over at alr-music.com. Hoping to have Kate back on the show very soon, as there's another big Cure Arts collab topic also about the drop. So we got to get the full scoop on all of this very soon. Dana is yet another insanely talented animation illustration artist. You can see her work at graphics.tv. That's graphics with an X.tv. And she is for hire. If your business or project could use a little pizzazzle, go on over and contact Dana. Tanya. When Tanya isn't reading all of the Cure-related books out there and references, she's busy saving lives at 988lifeline.org. Suicide and crisis hotline with over 200 crisis call centers located all over the U.S., available 24/7, offering free and confidential support for people in distress and numerous prevention and crisis resources. Tanya will 100% for sure be a guest on our next episode. I know this because we just recorded it, and it's going to be a fabulous one. Had a wonderful conversation where we expanded on the Cure in literature, picking up right where we left off with Bella way back in episode 91. So stay tuned for that one. And Tim is part of New Waterloo, an independent hospitality, development, design, and management company that owns and operates hotels and restaurants all over the U.S. and beyond. And you can find their many locations at newwaterloo.com. Lisa recommends that you visit Dickens in Calgary, Canada if you want to catch a great live show or event. They've got bands, trivia nights, dance nights, drag shows, all of the above. See their full listing of events at dickensyyc.com. And Jessica says, keep your eye out for Club Nevermore down in Little Rock, Arkansas, where they are doing the goth kids right by providing a wide range of events. Check out their upcoming schedule at clubnevermore.com. And if you are saddened that you didn't get your Chaz fix for this episode, fear not, we'll catch up with him soon. And you can always hear his lovely voice over at the Excommunication Station podcast, where he and Chrissy take on the evangelical church. You can find that everywhere you stream podcasts. On the way out, don't forget to swing by the official Holy Hour merch store to get all your cool Holy Hour designs, most of which feature the newish logo created by tonight's special guest, Scott Kruger. You can get it on t-shirts, mugs, tank tops, even bucket hats. And you can find the link for that in our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, Instagram page, or just email me. I'll send it to you directly. I think that's it for now. We'll see you in 2 weeks with Tanya and Peter from the UK, and we will talk The Cure in literature. Talk hard.